and welcome to another episode of the Drew Roff Show alongside Purdue Soccer head coach Drew Roff. I am the team's communications director, Charlie Healy. Drew coming off a tough 1-0 loss to number 18 Northwestern on Sunday. When you look back at that match, what are your overall thoughts?
Yeah, it was a bit of a heartbreaker for us. Certainly thought that we played really well, executed a game plan perfectly, played extremely hard, really limited their chances, created some great chances on our end, and I thought definitely deserved to get something out of it, but unfortunately came up a little bit short. Yeah. But first Big Ten game, obviously we wanted to be at our best, and I thought it was certainly one of our best, if not our best performances of the year. So everything that I asked our players to do, they came through. Just couldn't quite get that result, and came real close, but came up a little bit short. But certainly something to build on, and I think if we play at that level, we're gonna have some success here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. That I think that's a great point. You asked them to give it their all for 90 minutes and really go out there and attack. And I mean, I think they did it. They outshot Northwestern 10-9. Really had chances for the entire 90 minutes. So does that give you sort of a springboard as we're talking here on Tuesday as we head into the first practice today and two practices before Maryland? But does that give you a little bit of momentum heading into Thursday and the week of preparation?
Yeah, for sure. Because as a coach, you always you look at the performance and you look at the result, and obviously the result is very important, but the performance is also very important. And I think on a different day we play that way, we're going to beat a lot of teams, and you want to make sure that difficult schedule that we've had pays off during conference play. And I felt that we're very prepared to play a team that was ranked in the top 20 and certainly hold our own. And like I said, definitely felt like we should have got more out of the game. So definitely tough, but in this league, whether you win, lose, or draw, you have to move forward. So players were certainly very disappointed, but I said, hey, that's the game. It's not always the most fair game out there. It is what it is. But let's take a day, and let's move forward. So. A lot of soccer left to play, and but if we play like that again this weekend, then I'm excited about our chances.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the beauty of not only Mondays being days off, you can totally flush it out of the system, but also it was game one of 10. So you nine games to go, plenty still left to play for. One more thing, looking back at that Northwestern game, I think you could probably pinpoint one or two players who really had great games, but I also think you could maybe say everyone else had really good games as well. That depth and be able to have everyone play really well. How important is that there are going to be games where someone's shut down, and to have the ability to have all 11 on point for the entire game, how important is that?
Oh, it's huge because when it's all said and done, we're always trying to put together a team where the sum is greater than the parts. And I thought the cohesiveness that we showed as a group, our defensive structure, our ability in transition to, be dangerous, and then just, our composure on the ball, and recognize those moments when you can go and when you have to just put your foot on it and knock the ball around. So that cohesiveness, we looked like a real proper team, and certainly individuals, stood out, but I said everybody was sharp, everybody was competing, and it was the most, consistent performance that we've had. So that's encouraging because we have great players, but as we know, it's about how everything fits, how everything works together, and everybody's on the same page. And that's what you want this time of year. And that's we keep getting that, we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of positives to build off of a game against the highest ranked opponent we've faced this year against an unbeaten Northwestern team. So as we look ahead, 2 games on the road starting at Maryland on Thursday. Maryland coming into the game at 3-2-4 after a loss against another highly ranked Big Ten opponent at Penn State. So you look at Maryland, what do you know about them and what challenges do they present?
Well, I think traditionally, playing at Penn State might be the toughest fixture that you can have in the Big Ten, especially to start things off. So that was a tough result for them, but. Watching film, they've got a lot of quality. They've got some really talented young players. Solid in the back, good goalkeeping. So, anytime you go on the road in the Big Ten, you can have a big challenge, and I'm sure they're going to bounce back. They got a couple extra days rest. I think they played a little bit earlier than we did this past weekend, so I'm sure they're focusing on some things, and we have to be ready for their best performance of the year. So, big task ahead, but like I said, we're ready to get back out there and look forward to getting out to the East Coast and playing a couple teams that we know are going to have to bring out our best.
Yeah, absolutely. And that second game at Rutgers on Sunday, so staying out on the East Coast, making the short trip over to New Jersey. Rutgers coming into the weekend, I should say, 4-3-2. They're one of those teams that probably is a little better than their record, 4-3-2. And I know you haven't started too much prep on them, but perennially Rutgers is one of those always fighting for a spot at the top of the Big Ten table. So yeah. I mean that's gonna be a test for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean the talent level is always high with Rutgers. They always organize, defend really well. So we know it's going to be obviously a tough game for us, but yeah, we'll be ready for those two games, and I think the big thing is just we need to get work on some things in the final third, get our attack going, because both these teams do defend well, and we got to do a little better job breaking them down, and that's what we'll focus on this week. But yeah, excited to play. Big Ten play is what it's all about, and great test. But to win on the road, you got to bring a certain level of toughness and focus, and that's our goal here.
Yeah, absolutely. Boilers are making that East Coast swing for the first time since 2019, so we'll look forward to getting that going Thursday and Sunday in Maryland and New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Coming up on the show, we have Peyton Hunt and Gracie Dunaway. Let's talk a little bit about them. First, Gracie, she's a little bit of mix between forward and midfield this year, but just you can always see when she's on the field making an impact, and is one of those high-impact players for us throughout her career.
Yeah, Gracie's been tremendous. Every year she's gotten better and better. You can trust the fact that she's always going to put in the work in the off season to improve, whether it's her speed, her fitness, her technique. She's a tremendous talent. So definitely look forward to her putting more of an impact, putting more of a stamp on the games, because she has that type of ability. But really one of those players that's kind of heart and soul of our program. Just she's going to give you everything she has, and lots of talent. And when she's on, she's a really hard player to stop. So she's been fantastic, and look forward to her having a strong Big Ten season here.
Yeah, absolutely. And talk about Peyton, a defender, sophomore, coming in. I think she's one of those maybe impactful players off the bench. Had some starts last year as well. What do you see out of her production and impact?
Yeah, well, Peyton's just a very reliable player in our program because, once again, has strong character and really prepares hard off the field, works hard every day in training. She's really close to getting more opportunities on the pitch because her training performances have been really good, and she's a player that brings energy, brings a great spirit. She's got a really great personality, and I know her teammates enjoy what she brings to the table, and so do the coaches. So yeah, just somebody that has ability, has the work ethic. And shows up every day, and just a great teammate. So big part of our program is a player like her that just always what you're going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. Always grinding. I would say always, she seems like on the field always her head down, just running hard, and it's like the Energizer Bunny. I think always putting it out there. So that's always great to see.
Absolutely.
We'll catch up with them, and we'll come back and talk a little bit about the Big Ten. Welcome back. We're joined by junior Gracie Dunaway, sophomore Peyton Hunt. Gracie, we'll start with you as we get ready for another road trip. Do you have any favorite memories or favorite things so far on, I guess we've had one road trip so far, but three years in traveling with the team?
I really liked our last long trip when we went to Colorado, and we did a team bonding where we drove up the mountain, and it was like on the huge bus. I don't know how the driver got us up there, but we got to see all the scenery, and there was like a cliff, and it was scary, but it was a lot of fun. And then once we got to the top, we got a lot of cool pictures, so I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, certainly that was a fun opportunity. Scott, our bus driver Scott, shout out to him. Yeah, absolutely,
awesome.
Got us up and down safely. Peyton, you had a year and a half so far traveling with the team. What stands out to you about some of these road trips?
Just the quality time we get to spend with everyone. If it's just doing homework together in the hotel, or we just all lay down and just watch TV in the hotel room together.
Yeah.
So we just all have different schedules, so it's nice having that time with everyone.
Right. Yeah. It's sort of stuck together in a good way for 48 or 72 hours, something like that. Yeah.
We play a lot of cards. We play trains too, actually.
Really?
Yeah, Kaylee. It's like with the dominoes. Do you
Yeah.
play that? Yeah.
Who's the best trains player?
It changes up, I feel like, every time we play. I feel like
Okay.
it's kind of luck. I mean, there's a little strategy, but most of the time it's just kind of the luck of the draw, and it just depends on the game. Like, last time, I think Kaylee won. It just is a different winner every time.
Is there someone who hasn't won, who maybe either bad luck or bad skill?
Sid Boudreau seems to have the worst luck with it every time. Yeah, I think she's probably one of the worst, or has the worst luck with that game.
Okay.
I'd say.
You guys do have a little pregame superstition, pregame ritual between the two of you. Can you guys can you talk a little bit about it and how it started?
Mm-hmm. Before every game I have to eat a banana, and that started I think in high school,
Okay.
like my sophomore year, just because I always have issues with calf cramping, and like one of the big things I heard was eat a banana because of I think it's sodium in it or something or whatever, or potassium I think it is.
Yeah.
So I always eat that before a game, and then I always have to listen to like the Eye of the Tiger, or me and Peyton have started doing this thing where I'll like shadow box and she'll hold her hands up. But I think those are my only pregame rituals as of right now.
What about you, Peyton? Besides helping Gracie with the shadow boxing, what's your pregame game day routine?
Well, last year, me and Megan Hutchinson, we would do the Rasputin dance,
Okay.
which, if anybody knows, that's from Just Dance from like 2015.
16, something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. So we do it before every game, and we were debating on doing it this year, and so far we have been doing it, so I think it's going to continue.
Okay. What are you the best dancer on the team, or like when the music's going in the locker room, who's most likely to break it down?
I don't
Definitely Peyton, I would say. She's always
like. I'll get really into. So when I'm down to dance, I'll get really into it. But I think me and Megan are probably the most consistent ones to break it down.
And Megan's probably the chief DJ in the locker room. Is that the case?
Yeah. She's always
outside the locker room. She seems like the one always with the speaker.
Yeah. Yep.
You guys down for what she's playing? You like it?
We always like what she's playing.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it seems like she's playing some good. Good
we throw in
tunes,
some
but
requests too, but
Yeah.
she's got a good playlist going.
She listens to those requests.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Most of the time.
Yeah. It's a good DJ there who listens to the audience. Other football, the National Football League, the pigskin football. You guys, Peyton, you were in a fantasy football team last year. Gracie, you're in it this year. You guys have a team,
league
with nothing on the line for compliance, nothing on the line, all for fun.
Yes, all for fun. There's like 12 of us in it. We started, or when did I don't know. We did the whole thing where you sit down and you have to draft, which was low-key a little stressful. You pick I got to pick first, so I got to pick the number one wide receiver, which was kind of just seeing the whole process was kind of cool because that was my first time doing it. But it's pretty fun. We're on week 3, so I have one loss and 1 win, so not doing too bad.
And Peyton, you were in the group last year, but you're not in the group this year. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you want to expand on that, please?
Last year, I joined the Fantasy Football League, and I didn't know you had to interchange people every week because of bye week.
Okay.
So I had somebody pick my team for me. And I think I had a pretty good team, but then I would never, substitute?
Yeah, you had probably people out for the,
Yeah, so I just ended up being in
like
last place because I never won a game because I never did that, so.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
And then you elected not to do it this year.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be too stressful and
Yeah.
just didn't want to have that on my plate.
Is it is it less stressful this year? Now you get to sit back and enjoy the football, enjoy your teammates haggling over wins and losses and getting stressed out. Now you can just
it
sit
makes
back
me
and-
laugh because Sabrina, missed the draft, so she had to do auto draft, and she was complaining about it. But she has Dallas Cowboys defense, and anyway, she's really doing good. So it's just funny because like everyone's kind of bickering about how I don't know. It's funny looking at the bickering, and I'm not involved in it.
Yeah, you don't have to pick sides. You can just enjoy the sideshow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who is the best team, do you think?
In the NFL?
No. In the league, in your league. Besides your own team.
Right now, the ranking, Kayla's first right now in the rankings, like with points. So I guess she has the best team right now.
Of course she has it.
Yeah, she really knows her stuff when it comes to like any sports team. So she's good at that.
So Kayla Budish is probably the expert of.
Probably.
And who gets most intense about it?
I feel like we all get kind of intense. Like we all look at the standings and are like, oh, we're going up against each other this league. Like I'm gonna crush you. I don't know.
Right.
Like, we all get kind of competitive.
So. It's a little trash talking.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Well, hopefully that's a little side fun project for you guys to stay busy with and pick the right defense and stuff like that, and change your teams every week.
Yes,
you all know that.
I've been looking.
Enjoy Peyton. You can enjoy being the cheerleader or watching from the sides and watching that play out. So we'll keep tabs on that. We'll also keep tabs on the team this weekend in Maryland and Rutgers. And thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome back. Wrapping up once again with head coach Drew Roff for a little added time. Let's talk about the Big Ten as a whole. We're in the week 2 of the Big Ten season, but big picture, you mentioned Penn State, one of the toughest places to play in the conference. Would you say that is the toughest place? You've been here 9 years. You've had plenty of opportunities to go everywhere a couple times, see the different atmospheres within the Big Ten. What stands out about Penn State?
Yeah, I think just their history of success and just the talent that they have on the pitch.
Yeah.
I remember a few years ago we went down there. It was Maddie Williams' senior year. We needed a draw to get to the postseason, and somehow we pulled it off. We had very limited chances. Maddie scored a couple great goals. That's one I really remember. But if you can go to Penn State and get points pretty much any year, I mean, you're very happy. And obviously, I think my first year at Purdue might have been the year they won the national championship. So they're always going to bring a strong team to the field. So that's a big one. But several more. I mean, Rutgers is another place that over the years, not a lot of people have probably gone there and gotten points out of those games out of Rutgers. So there's a couple that traditionally are really difficult, but that's part of it. Got to figure it out somehow. And unfortunately, Penn State comes to us this year, so we'll get a chance to see them at home and see how that one goes. But looking forward to that. Yeah,
absolutely. You mentioned Penn State and Rutgers. No coincidence that those two teams are at the top of the table so consistently in the Big Ten. Yeah. So, do you have a place that maybe off the radar that's maybe just you enjoy going to when you see that on the schedule? You're like, hey, that's a fun trip. Whether it's maybe not just the game, but just the overall experience of those 2 days in that city.
No, not really.
No, okay.
I'm just kidding. Obviously, I enjoy going up to Michigan State.
Yeah.
Michigan, from Ann Arbor, went to State, so that trip is always pretty cool. For a lot of reasons.
Right.
Where Michigan plays is right down the road from where I kind of played growing up with my youth games and things like that. So there's certainly some nostalgia there. But that's probably the only trip that stands out. Other places, I enjoy it. I mean, I like going to Maryland. It's where my wife is actually from.
Okay.
Went to Maryland, so been out there a few times to see her family and things like that. So this is a nice trip. And Rutgers, we always get some good food. There's some great Italian food up in New Jersey. So this is probably one of the one of my more enjoyable trips, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. When we're talking about the Big Ten, we can't forget about the 4 schools we're adding out west: UCLA, USC, Oregon, and Washington. We got a sneak peek at USC a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Have you been to UCLA yet or not?
I have, yes.
Okay.
Played a NCAA tournament game there a few years ago.
Yep.
And it was a nice facility. Great and really nice area. Lots of traffic, so you got to leave. Got to leave the hotel with plenty of time. And if traffic's bad, you're worried about being late. If traffic's good, then you're sitting there for 2.5 hours waiting for the game to start. So that's something that we don't have to deal with here in the Midwest quite as much. But certainly great programs, great
Right.
institutions, and the Big Ten's getting a little bit tougher.
Yeah, absolutely. Several national championships are residing in the City of Angels there at both of those schools, including the defending champions in UCLA. But we got that traffic experience a couple of weeks ago as well at USC. But that'll be certainly a fun trip. Hopefully Thursday, Sunday, both of those in one weekend, so we can avoid a plane flight and get two trips out of one. Pacific Northwest, Oregon, and Washington. I've been there for some other sports, but never for soccer. How about you?
I've never been up there for soccer.
Yeah.
I've recruited up there. My sister lives up in Portland, so I've been there, to see her. But not real familiar with those programs, to be honest. I know they're strong, and I know but it's going to be fun to see that part of the country. Because, like I said, most of our recruiting events, games, and things like that, don't get us up that way, but I know they love soccer up in the Northwest, so the pro teams do really well, their attendance and things like that. So should be interesting, fun to check them out. Yeah,
absolutely. You talk about the pro teams having success at Thorns and the Rain out in Seattle and Portland, or Portland and Seattle. They're some of the best drawers in the NWSL, and certainly the soccer-loving area up there. So that'll be fun. That's probably the trip I'm most looking forward to in a year or two, whenever we get to go to Oregon and Washington. Yeah. So that's a few years away, probably. We'll or at least 1 year away. Until then, we look forward to heading east for a trip to Maryland and Rutgers, and we'll go home, pack our bags, get ready for practice tonight, and then hit the road tomorrow morning.
Yep.
So.
That'll do it.
Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you on the East Coast.
Appreciate it, Charlie.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.